I'm Donald Manning of Phillips Seafood. I'm down here with my underwater friends, and guess what we're making today? Crab cakes. That's right, crab cakes. Well, the recipe I'm using calls for 100% real crab meat. Okay, a little better. So let's explain how we do that. We have a simple way of remembering it. A lot of people think making crab cakes is complicated. It's really not. If you can remember this statement, you can make crab cakes. From sea to sea, most people like every meal we serve. May sound a little cocky, but it's really an acronym for remembering how to make crab cakes. From sea to sea, crackers and crab meat, that's what we're gonna start with. Then we use most people like every meal we serve. Mustard, parsley, lemon, egg, mayonnaise, Worcestershire, and seafood seasoning. We're gonna use approximately a half a sleeve of Ritz crackers. You can use breadcrumbs, you can use saltines, whatever bread you choose. I like Ritz crackers. It gives a really nice flavor, nice buttery taste to it. So we'll get about that much in there. And then we're gonna do a tablespoon of mustard. And parsley, kind of to taste, but I would say about a heaping tablespoon. And we're going to do the juice of half of a lemon. So we want to make sure we catch those seeds. Squeeze that in there. You don't have to use fresh lemons, but I prefer fresh lemons. It just is going to make it taste a lot better. We're going to use one egg, add that in. And just like the mustard, we're going to use a heaping tablespoon of mayonnaise. A little bit more in there. And Worcestershire is going to be about 2 to 3 teaspoons or to taste. And then similar with the seafood seasoning. Now, I like the taste of seafood seasoning, you may not. And if you're watching your salt intake, you may want to use another spice, but seafood seasoning, I'm going to do about 2 teaspoons. Now let me show you what that looks like. We've got it all here. We're going to whip that up. What we're making is what we'll refer to as a wet mix or a sauce. Now we're going to stir that up. Key thing you've noticed that we haven't added is crab meat. A key thought is you always add that last. So we're going to mix that up, get it all incorporated, and we want to get it into almost what we would term like a loose peanut butter type mixture. Hopefully you can see that. Today we're going to use backfin. Now backfin is broken flakes of crab meat and smaller flakes of crab meat. Very good because the small flakes absorb the mixture and the broken flakes give you nice appearance in the cake. Now you'll notice when I start mixing in, I'm not going to stir as much as I'm going to fold, because we don't want to break up those delicate lumps. We just fold them gently like that. Now we're going to go into making them into patties. We're going to make about a 3.5 to 4 ounce patty. Point to note, if you were going to fry them, you'd make them more into like little balls, but we're going to saute them, so we want them to be able to cook evenly through, so we're going to do patties about like that. We're going to heat up a little butter and olive oil. Boy, that sounds good, and it's going to taste as good as it sounds. We use butter and olive oil because the olive oil helps to keep the heat and the butter gives it good flavor. That's why we want to do that. And what we're going to do when we're cooking them, what we're really aimed at doing is just getting them GBD, golden brown and delicious. That's our goal. So let's just make a little room for our undersea friend here. So now we've got them GBD, golden brown and delicious. Now we can plate them up. Keeping them, being tender with them. And we're all set. One last finishing touch. We made a little aioli, mayonnaise, mustard, and lemon zest. And we're going to put a little bit on each cake. And that's it, Crab Cakes 101. For this and other delicious recipes, visit us online. If you're looking for this particular recipe, look for Donald Manning's Favorite Crab Cakes. That's one thing about our crab cakes, everybody wants a bite. Oh, I gotta go.